My name is Dr. Margaret Williams. I'm 98 years old. I've been a physician for 73 years. I've watched over 4,000 people die. Most of them died young. And by young, I mean before 75. They didn't die from accidents. They didn't die from genetics. They didn't die from bad luck. They died from 6 habits. 6 deadly habits they picked up after age 50. Habits that seemed harmless. Habits that felt comfortable. Habits that killed them slowly, steadily, surely. You're probably doing at least 3 of them right now. If you keep doing them, you'll join the 4,000 I've watched die. Unnecessarily, preventably, tragically. Last week I watched another one go, Margaret Thompson, 67 years old, my neighbour for 20 years, a vibrant, intelligent woman who should have lived to 85. She died of a heart attack while watching television, but she didn't really die of a heart attack. She died of the 6 habits I'm going to tell you about today. Habits that are killing millions of people over 50. Habits that might be killing you. The first deadly habit, accepting decline as inevitable. After 50, something terrible happens to most people. They start expecting their bodies to fail. Well, I'm getting older. That's just part of aging. What do you expect at my age? They surrender, without a fight, without resistance, without even trying. I was treating James Morrison, 52 years old, construction worker his whole life. He came to my office complaining about back pain. "Doc, I guess my body's just wearing out. I'm not young anymore." I examined him. His back pain wasn't from age. It was from sitting. He'd recently been promoted to foreman, went from physical labour to desk work. His muscles had weakened in 6 months. "James, this isn't aging. This is deconditioning. Start moving again and the pain will go away." At my age, I should probably just take it easy now. That was 1962. James took it easy for 23 years. He died in 1985, age 75. From complications related to decades of inactivity, muscle atrophy, bone loss, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, none of it was inevitable, all of it was preventable. James died because he accepted decline instead of fighting it. I'm 98 years old. I still walk 2 miles every morning. I still climb stairs. I still carry my own groceries. Not because I have good genes. My father died at 63, my mother at 69. Because I never accepted decline as inevitable. After 50, your body will decline if you let it. But you don't have to let it. Every day you choose. Fight or surrender. Resist or accept. Live or slowly die. Most people choose to slowly die. They call it acting their age. I call it suicide. Margaret Thompson accepted decline at 55, stopped exercising because her knees hurt, stopped climbing stairs because she got winded, stopped doing things because they became too hard. Her body obliged. It declined. Rapidly, dramatically, fatally. She died at 67 because she gave up at 55. That's 12 years of life she surrendered. 12 years she could have had if she'd fought instead of folded. The second deadly habit, eating for comfort instead of nutrition. After 50, most people change how they eat. They eat to feel better instead of to be better. Stress eating, emotional eating, mindless eating, they justify it. I've worked hard all my life. I deserve to enjoy food. Life's too short to count calories. I'm too old to start dieting now. But food becomes medicine, and medicine becomes poison. Dorothy Flanagan, 54 years old, recently divorced, struggling financially, raising 2 teenage children alone. She started eating for comfort, ice cream after difficult days, fast food when she was too tired to cook, chocolate when she felt overwhelmed. "It's the only pleasure I have left," she told me. I understood. Divorce is devastating. Single parenthood is exhausting. Everyone deserves comfort, but Dorothy's comfort was killing her. In 2 years, she gained 60 pounds. Her blood pressure skyrocketed. Her blood sugar became diabetic. By 60, she was on 7 medications. By 65, she'd had 2 heart attacks. She died at 68 from complications of diabetes and heart disease caused by comfort eating that started at 54. I just wanted something to make me feel better, she said during our last appointment. The food made her feel better for minutes and feel worse for years. Dorothy died because she medicated emotions with food instead of dealing with them directly. After 50, your metabolism slows down. Your activity level often decreases. Your body needs fewer calories, not more. But most people eat more, not fewer. They eat their feelings, their stress, their boredom, their loneliness. Food becomes their drug, and like all drugs, it eventually kills them. Margaret Thompson started comfort eating after her husband's death at 58. She gained 40 pounds in 3 years. Her heart couldn't handle the extra weight and the extra work. She died eating, literally. Heart attack while snacking on the couch. Food was supposed to comfort her. Instead, it killed her. The third deadly habit, isolating instead of connecting. After 50, many people start pulling back from the world, from relationships, from social connections. They retire. Their children move away. Old friends die or move to different cities. Instead of making new connections, they retreat. They become hermits. They isolate. Isolation after 50 is a death sentence. Harold Richardson, 59 years old, recently retired from 35 years at the post office. Harold was married, had adult children, seemed set for a pleasant retirement. But retirement isolated him. No daily interactions with co-workers, no routine social contact, no reason to leave the house. His wife worked part-time. His children were busy with their own lives. He spent most days alone. I don't need people, he told me. I'm fine by myself. But humans aren't designed to be alone. We're social creatures. We need connection to survive. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of death by 26%. 26%. Harold became increasingly isolated, stopped seeing friends, stopped participating in activities, stopped engaging with life. His health declined rapidly. Depression set in. His immune system weakened. He died at 72, not from any specific disease, from loneliness. The coroner listed heart failure as cause of death. But Harold died from isolation. His heart failed because it had no reason to keep beating strongly. I've watched hundreds of people die from loneliness. It's a silent epidemic among people over 50. They think they're being independent. They're actually being suicidal. Margaret Thompson isolated herself after her husband died. Stopped going to church. Stopped meeting friends for coffee. Stopped participating in community activities. I don't want to be a burden, she said. But burden isn't the right word. Connection isn't about burdening others. It's about enriching everyone. She died alone, on her couch, watching television. Nobody found her for 3 days. That's what isolation gets you. Death alone, discovered days later by concerned neighbours. The fourth deadly habit, living in the past instead of creating a future. After 50, many people mentally retire from life. They stop growing, learning, planning, dreaming. They become historians of their own lives instead of architects of their remaining years. My best years are behind me. I'm too old to start something new. I should just be grateful for what I've had. This mental retirement kills faster than any disease. Patricia Chen, 53 years old. Empty nester after her youngest child left for college. Patricia had been a devoted mother for 25 years. Her identity was completely wrapped up in parenting. When her kids left, she didn't know who she was anymore. My life is over, she told me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I suggested she pursue interests she'd put aside while raising children. Maybe go back to school, learn new skills, travel, volunteer. At my age, it's too late for all that. 53 years old, and she thought her life was over. Patricia spent the next 15 years existing, not living, waiting for grandchildren to give her purpose, waiting for holidays when her children visited, waiting for life to happen to her instead of making life happen. She died at 68 from cancer. But I believe the cancer was secondary. Her spirit died first, at 53, when she decided her life was over. The body just took 15 years to catch up. People who stop growing start dying immediately, not physically at first, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but the body follows the spirit, always. I'm 98 years old. I'm still learning, still growing, still planning. Last year, I learned to use a computer. This year, I'm learning Spanish. Next year, I want to write a book. At 98, I'm still creating my future. That's why I'm still alive. Patricia stopped creating her future at 53. She spent 15 years dying slowly. Margaret Thompson stopped planning ahead after her husband died. "What's the point?" she'd say. "I'm just marking time until I join him." She marked time for 9 years. Then time marked her, the fifth deadly habit, avoiding challenges instead of embracing them. After 50, most people want life to be easy, comfortable, predictable. They avoid anything difficult, anything that pushes them, anything that requires effort or learning or growth. This comfort-seeking behavior is deadly. Challenge keeps you alive. Struggle keeps you strong. Difficulty keeps you engaged. Robert Martinez, 58 years old, successful accountant, comfortable retirement planned. Robert had worked hard his entire career. He was tired, ready for easy. He retired early, bought a condo in Florida, planned to spend his days golfing and relaxing. "I've earned the right to take it easy," he said. For 2 years, Robert's life was perfectly comfortable. No stress, no challenges, no difficulties, and no vitality. He became lethargic, mentally dull, physically weak. "I feel like I'm dying of boredom," he told me during a visit. He was dying of boredom, literally. The human brain and body need challenge to function optimally. Without struggle, they atrophy. Use it or lose it applies to everything: muscles, minds, spirits. Robert lost his edge quickly. Within 5 years of retirement, he was showing signs of early cognitive decline. By 70, he needed assistance with daily activities. By 73, he was in a memory care facility. He died at 76 from complications of Alzheimer's disease. But Robert didn't die from Alzheimer's. He died from avoiding challenges. His brain atrophied because he stopped using it fully. Comfort killed him. I'm 98 years old. I deliberately seek challenges, learning technology, mastering new skills, pushing my physical limits. It's uncomfortable. It's difficult. It's often frustrating, but it keeps me alive. Challenge is life. Comfort is death. Margaret Thompson avoided all challenges after 60, wouldn't learn to use a smartphone, wouldn't try new restaurants, wouldn't travel to unfamiliar places. She chose familiar, safe, easy. Her world became smaller and smaller until it was just her couch and her television. She died in that tiny, safe world she'd created. The sixth deadly habit, waiting for permission to live fully. This is the most insidious habit of all. After 50, people start asking permission to live. Permission from their children, permission from society, permission from their own fears. Am I too old for this? What will people think? Should someone my age be doing that? They wait for approval that never comes, for permission that's not required. Meanwhile, their lives slip away. Elizabeth Walker, 61 years old, widow for 3 years. Elizabeth had always wanted to paint. She'd dreamed of it since childhood, but never had time while raising a family and working. After her husband died, she had time, and money, and no responsibilities to anyone else. Perfect time to pursue her passion. But she hesitated. "Isn't it silly for someone my age to start painting?" she asked me. "What if I'm no good? What will my children think?" I told her age doesn't disqualify anyone from art. That talent can be developed at any age, that her children's opinions shouldn't matter. But Elizabeth couldn't give herself permission to try. She spent years thinking about painting, reading about painting, admiring other people's paintings, but never painting. She died at 74, with brushes she'd bought but never used, with canvases still wrapped in plastic, with dreams intact but unexpressed. Elizabeth died waiting for permission that she could have given herself. Permission to be bad at something, permission to start late, permission to ignore other people's judgments. She never granted herself that permission. After 50, you don't need anyone's permission to live fully, to pursue interests, to take risks, to be yourself completely. But most people act like they do. They wait and wait and wait until they're dead. I'm 98 years old. I stopped asking permission decades ago. I do what interests me. I say what I think. I live as I choose, not because I'm fearless, but because I realize life is too short to spend it seeking approval. Margaret Thompson wanted to travel after her husband died. She'd always dreamed of seeing Paris, but she worried about traveling alone, about what neighbors would think, about whether someone her age should be wandering around foreign cities. She never went to Paris. She died having never left her hometown. The Eiffel Tower existed. Paris existed. Her passport existed. Her savings existed. But her permission didn't exist because she never gave it to herself. These 6 habits killed Margaret Thompson. They kill millions of people every year. People who could live to 85 or 90 or 95, but die at 65 or 70 because of these choices. Accepting decline, eating for comfort, isolating, living in the past, avoiding challenges, waiting for permission. 6 habits that seem harmless, 6 habits that feel natural, 6 habits that kill you slowly. But here's what I learned in 98 years. You can change any habit, at any age, at any time. It's never too late to fight decline, to eat for health, to connect with others, to create a future, to embrace challenges, to give yourself permission. Margaret Thompson could have lived to 90. She had good genes, no major health problems at 50, plenty of resources, but she chose the 6 deadly habits. She chose comfort over challenge, isolation over connection, decline over resistance. She chose death over life, slowly, steadily, surely. You don't have to make her choices. At 50, you still have 30 or 40 years ahead of you, maybe more. You can spend them dying slowly or living fully. The choice is yours. The time is now. I'm 98 years old. I've watched 4,000 people die. Most died from habits, not diseases. Don't join them. Stop the 6 deadly habits. Today, your life depends on it.